The fuck was that? You all right?
Yeah. I don't know. All right. So, what are the two main topics?
Should talk about the announcements first, right?
I'm going to be working on this thumbnail while you're doing that. I've got an idea.
I just got a Facebook notification. It said something about Peacemaker and Boba Fett, Chris. Yeah, from you. Facebook. Yeah.
What are you doing?
And then the notification was like old.
Well, no, but I hear it. I think that's the wrong She-Hulk. One of these Google images. I'm pretty sure it was from porn.
Well, you know who played her in a porn was China.
Yeah, she also had One Night in China.
No, it wasn't even that one. It was another one where she actually like painted herself green and everything.
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
On where?
Facebook. and Steve doesn't put input on, we can just make fun of him for it. I think it makes our podcast better.
Oh, you sent me that one OBS video. Fuck, I forgot to watch that. I was busy as fuck today. Chat with them. Fuck it. It's probably one of those, I can excel your videos and get you followers.
Told you.
Read where you said something about erectile dysfunction.
What's up, guys? We're
going on?
We're finally live. It took a little while. This is where Steve makes fun of me for my intros because I'm not really good at introing this. So, what is up, YouTube, Facebook, and whoever else might be watching? In case you don't know, I got Steve, One Shot over here, and I got Zuplex, or Wade Pool, or one of many names. We'll call him man of many names.
We're going to call him Frank.
Frank
Zuplex
works.
is fine.
Frankplex.
Zuplex.
Maybe we'll do a little name change, and we'll call you Frankplex. That doesn't really flow off the tongue like Zuplex does. So now I'm all now you got me all self-conscious with the shadow of my microphone. I'm gonna have to move it again. You know, I just moved it, and you're gonna make me move it again. Oh yeah. I'm never happy. So, what's up, fellas? We took a few weeks off. It is easy to get in my head, to be honest, especially when it comes to this. I tinker constantly. My wife makes fun of me.
We make fun of you too, so it's all right.
Yeah. I respect
you
you
should see our
guys.
reaction videos.
I respect you guys. Definitely check out the reactions. That's one of the reasons why we're on YouTube today. Hoping some of the reaction fans could jump into the chat with us. Hopefully they like these topics. It's been a few weeks, man. We've been. I took a little break for the charity event we did. For anyone who hasn't followed the Twitch or the Facebook, well, we raised a good amount of money, and we are now
over $1,000.
We're now over $1,000, and we're planning the next event basically. Zuplex, I gotta ask, this is your first time live on camera after losing to the captain. How do you feel, man?
Listen, you know what? He brought it like he said he was going to. He won fair and square. I mean, what are you going to do? We had a great matchup in FIFA to end it, and it was the only game that we went to 3 games in. You know,
that was a good matchup. I have to admit that was a solid way to end it.
Yeah, it was definitely a solid way to end it. I think I set out though, and I did prove a couple points to him on a couple of things. Like I told him I was going to score at least 10 goals on him in NHL. I achieved that goal, no problem. That was almost like child's play. I destroyed him in UFC. So it felt good. It felt good to get those wins under the belt and prove that he's not dominant in every game as he says he is.
It's not often you see the captain get humbled a little bit. And I don't know if I would call him humbled, but he definitely got quiet for a little bit in the middle of the competition. So that's always nice to see.
Yeah.
The money went to the Compete for Cancer charity. So, you and the captain, thanks you guys for kind of going through all that just for a charity, for your different charities. Anyone who jumped into the Twitch stream and kind of joined in with the comments and all that stuff, we really appreciate all the love and support. And keep an eye out if you haven't already. Join the Facebook group because there'll be an announcement at some point for our next event, whether it's a charity thing or just an in-person event. But then let's move on from that. Now we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. So we have a couple things. House of the Dragon premiered on Sunday. She-Hulk premiered last week. Besides those two, which are really the two biggest things out there is a ton of stuff coming over the next couple weeks and next couple months. So I figure maybe we'll start with just kind of running through some of the bigger things, in my opinion, that are coming out over the next few weeks. And we'll end it with House of the Dragon, or with She-Hulk, because that'll be more of a deep dive. We won't go into spoilers for House of the Dragon, but we will go into spoilers for She-Hulk. It's been almost a week. I mean, get your shit together if you haven't watched it yet. Come on now.
I mean, if you ever watch it at this point, that's on you. It's not on us.
That's what I'm saying. Let me just send out this link real quick. Make sure we get some people in the chat. And so just to kind of start it, let me get the list up here. We got... So now this is actually probably my biggest thing that I'm most excited for, really for the rest of the year. Cobra Kai Season 5 is coming September 2nd.
I am excited.
I'm amped. I'm so amped for this. I've been a fan of this since the show first started. I remember, admittedly, when the show first came on YouTube Premium or YouTube Red, whatever they called it. And I remember thinking to myself, like, a Cobra Kai show? Like, do we really need that? And then a friend of mine was like, I don't know. I watched the first 2 episodes and, it was all right. So then I said, maybe I'll give it a shot. And then I paid for YouTube Red. I watched the entire first season multiple times because it was unbelievable. And ever since then, I've just been super excited for the show.
Yeah. I did the same thing. Like, I was super excited about it. I was like, but it's on YouTube Red. Like, a streaming service that no one ever asked for. Right? And I got YouTube Red, watched it, was blown away.
Yeah.
Unsubscribed from YouTube Red almost immediately afterwards. Well, yeah,
because there was nothing else to watch.
There's nothing else to watch.
Cobra Kai was the only thing for YouTube Red.
I think Netflix picking it up was the right move. And they've been going balls to the wall with it ever since.
Hell yeah.
And it's been a nostalgia-filled wild ride.
I really thought with the last season, I kind of felt like, maybe it's we don't need it. It's going a little too far. 3 seasons was enough, and then the season ended, and I said, all right, I'm here for it. Whatever's next, I'm excited to see Terry Silva actually fulfill his goal of opening up more Cobra Kai dojos. For anyone who hasn't watched, that's basically how the last season ended. Mike Barnes is back for this upcoming season.
I am so excited for Mike Barnes to come back And they didn't even show him in the trailer, which is nuts.
That's so strange to me, though. They hit him in the trailer. I don't understand that.
If they announced him, they announced that he's going to be there. I'll bet you Mike Barnes doesn't show up until the last episode, and he's the major villain of season 6.
I hope that's not the case. I really do.
I don't know, man. It might be.
So Scythex pointed out that the season 5 is premiering September 9th. I don't know if I said September 2nd. I think I meant September 9th if I said the 2nd. Johnny Munez, thanks for jumping in. That's Johnny Butters, I guess. He's listening. And he's playing Tiny Tina's Wonderland. So enjoy that. Scythex said he did 2 trials with 2 different emails for seasons 1 and 2. I mean, whatever you had to do to watch it. I'm going to, honestly, I'll tell you right now, September 9th is when the new season comes out. September 10th, I'll have it finished. Because that's the kind of show where I'll just watch it until it's done. And it's a short show, a half-hour episode. It's like 10 episodes. It's not going to be too long.
Yeah.
Steve, did you, let me guess, hold on. If I'm predicting, I'm going to try to read your mind. You didn't watch Cobra Kai yet. Uh-oh, we lost Steve's mic. I can't hear you.
Steve, you're muted.
You might have to replug. You might have to plug in again. Train wreck. I keep forgetting to make a graphic for the train wreck. So since he's not talking, I'm just going to assume that he not only didn't watch Cobra Kai, he may never have seen Karate Kid. And I'm not talking about Jaden Smith.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, what they did that was so smart in the last season was going back to Okinawa and bringing back Chosen. And Daniel reacquainting himself with the little girl that he saved and all that stuff.
I don't remember her name, but I know exactly what you're saying.
I agree with you. I probably should remember her name, but I don't remember her name. And then Kumiko, right? That was the love interest from number 2. You know, all that stuff was really, really like it really brought to you like the
They've done a great job. They've really done a great job with the show and not going overboard, for sure. Mm-hmm. I do think one of the smart decisions they made was going back to Tokyo, but not spending an entire season there. You know, 1 or 2 episodes was more than enough, and then coming back. I will say that I never thought. Oh, now I hear you.
Oh, yeah, there he is. There he is.
Such a fancy mic. You guys are talking shit about my mic up here. Now you can't even hear your voice when you're talking on the mic.
Mine was Discord, so fuck you.
I will say, I never thought I would be as excited to see Chosen side by side with Johnny as I was when they showed that in the trailer. That one quick scene of the 2 of them, like basically walking into that dojo, I was like, it's about to go down. I can't wait. I'm pumped for that one.
I'm super excited. Like let's be honest. You know, the kid stuff, is a little hokey at times. It's a little, it's a little like cringy at times. But for the most part, you're not there for that. We're there to see Daniel and Johnny go up against Terry Silver with Chosen. Like the kid angle is fun,
I will. Yeah, the kid angle kind of was good in the first season, maybe the second season, but after that, I've been less and less interested in that aspect and more interested in the adults, basically the adults acting like children.
My favorite character in the entire show really might be Daniel's wife.
Yes, 100%.
Because she just throws out these one-liners like, "Oh, in case you guys didn't know, they have warring karate dojos."
Yeah,
she just like sips her wine.
She's honestly the best. She's got it. She basically says it how it is. There's no sugarcoating it. She seems to have her head on her shoulders more than anybody else. I love.
She's
her
the one that's pointing out like the absurdity of the show to us, the viewer.
Oh yeah.
No, so we just have to like accept that that's the absurdity of the show.
So Steve, before we move on, man, you got to answer the question: have you seen any of Cobra Kai?
Season 1 and half of season 2.
See, like, how do you start it and then not finish it? That's what I don't understand.
Because I didn't have internet for what 6-9 months, something like that.
Oh yeah, okay. I guess that's a good answer. You can go back and finish it, I guess. But have you seen Karate Kid? You're silent. It's a long pause, man. It's a long pause.
I mean, the silence should speak for itself. Yes, I've seen it.
The silence tells me that you're embarrassed to say you haven't seen it. I'm not talking about the Jaden Smith.
No, I have seen it. You probably enjoy the Jaden Smith one, and that's what you're talking about.
Jackie Chan is in it. I absolutely enjoyed it. It's actually a good movie. It's a shot for shot remake. or shot for shot redo of the original Karate Kid.
It's not a good movie.
It's a good movie. Stop hating just to hate. It's a good movie.
Credit
where credit's due. Jackie Chan is a phenomenal new Mr. Miyagi.
I won't hate on Jackie Chan, but I can hate on Jaden Smith all I want.
He's not the worst actor. Come on. He's not the worst actor. Especially when he was a kid. He was a much better actor as a kid. Once he hit After Earth or whatever that movie was, then the acting just did not stick with him too well. But before we go on a tangent about Jaden Smith, let's just move on here. Cobra Kai, like I said, is my number one. I'm most excited for that for the rest of the year. Followed by Wakanda Forever, which comes out in November. There's not much new to say about Wakanda Forever, so we're not going to focus on that right now. One announcement that I thought was interesting. So Andor comes out in September 21st. At the end of this month, Disney has decided to re-release Rogue One in theaters. I guess as a way to get people pumped up again for a show based on Andor.
It's a smart move. Like, why not throw Rogue One back out there? People will go and see it. They'll make a little extra cash on the side for it. You know, I mean, it's by far a lot of people's most favorite Star Wars movie at this point.
100%. It's one of my top Star Wars movies. You know, it's funny when I first read that they were re-releasing Rogue One into theaters. At first, I was like, "Why? Like that makes no sense." Or not that it makes no sense, but it's such a cash grab. But then I started thinking about seeing that Vader scene on the big screen again, and I kind of thought I kind of want to do it, even though the cost of the ticket is probably triple the price of when I saw it the first time. But I guess that's the goal, right?
1932.
Yeah, I am pretty old.
At the end of the day, Disney has to bring more people into buying Disney Plus, right?
Right.
So you announce Andor, you have this, and then you put Rogue One back in the theaters. Maybe somebody, maybe not the hardcore fans, the more casual fans, they don't have Disney Plus yet. They see Rogue One, they're like, oh, they're making a show like about like a prequel to this movie, even though like this movie was a prequel to other movies. I want to see that show. Let me buy Disney Plus now,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited I'm here for the show regardless, so I was gonna watch it anyway. I'll watch Rogue One on Disney Plus anyway, just because I enjoy the movie that much. But it was just funny.
So good.
It looks very good. The trailer. I like the idea of it focusing on the war aspect over anything else for sure. So I'm excited about it. For anyone who doesn't know, Andor is basically a prequel to Rogue One, and it's telling the story or the upbringing or whatever you want to call it of one of the main characters of the Rogue One movie, Cassian Andor, how he joins the rebellion and then some of the battles he went through before the movie came out. So that is actually premiering on Disney Plus September 21st. And if you didn't see Rogue One, then like I said, you can catch it in theaters at the end of August. It starts back in theaters August 26th, and it'll be up for only a week. So you have a little bit of time.
I'll tell you guys right out there right now, if you never saw Rogue One in theaters, go see Rogue One in theaters.
I would argue. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So good on the big screen, especially the end with that Vader scene. Like it's just phenomenal on the big screen.
I would honestly go as far as to say that Rogue One, and this is speaking strictly on Star Wars, but it might apply to a broader kind of statement, has the best space combat scene in any of the Star Wars movies, has one of the best, if not the best, like ground combat scene in all of the Star Wars movies. And again, that Vader scene to this day is still probably the best Vader scene that we've gotten. We've gotten a bunch of them now, a bunch of really good scenes, but it's still probably just it scratches out a top spot as far as the best moments for Vader on screen. So those are three big things.
That beach scene in the middle of a battle. It's a battle like on a beach. It looks like something out of a Vietnam movie with Star Wars.
Yes. Yes. I mean,
you want Fortunate Son to start playing in the background.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like AT-AT walkers and you see all these machines, but we've only ever really seen them from like a wide kind of far back perspective where you kind of see how big they are, but you're not like up close to them, so you don't really feel the height and the size. And this was the first movie to give you like a ground level, like how terrifying it could be to try and fight these things. It's so good. And I'm going to watch it this weekend just because we're talking about it now. because I'm gonna have to watch it again.
I'm gonna rewatch it now also.
So that's Andor. Another big release, September 2nd, is the premiere of the Lord of the Rings show, The Ring of Power. I believe the first 2 episodes are coming September 2nd on Amazon Prime. So let me ask you this question, Steve. Have you ever watched Lord of the Rings? Was that silence? I can't tell. Or is your mic off again?
Your mic's off again.
Dude, this guy.
No, it's not. I was just fucking with you.
I thought your mic was off. You got me. That was dead air, man.
Yeah.
You got to say stuff. No, so have you seen it? You haven't
It was
even answered.
anticipation.
You're avoiding the
Yeah,
question.
but I don't remember shit about it.
Well, it's, as long as you've watched it. It'll come to you quick as long as you've watched it. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan. I know it's an unpopular opinion.
But it will because I didn't.
Oh, it's the
do
most
anything
overrated.
about it,
It's the most overrated franchise of all time.
Johnny Butter says, sorry to throw you off. How about Dragon Ball Super? Hold on, Johnny. That's on the list. We'll get that.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
We'll
Johnny.
get there. We'll
Relax.
get there. You gotta slow it down a little bit. We're trying to do this methodically over here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I agree with you, Carmine. It's not.
Jeez.
It's overrated. That doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean it's bad. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it definitely the movies were too long. The original, the Lord of the Rings trilogy was the special effects are really well done, but I would argue it's similar to Avatar, where the special effects are what made it so popular, not necessarily the story and how it was told. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like, listen, the first one was pretty lame. They were all getting together in the
I'm
fellowship.
not a fan of the first one either. Even to this day, I could rewatch it, and it's still just a slow movie for me.
The slowest movie ever, and it's just about guys getting ready to walk through a volcano.
Yeah.
And then the second movie was about them walking to the volcano, and they're all split up, and it's just like, all right, whatever. It had a pretty cool
second movie had
battle
some baller battles, though.
It did. Look, I'll give credit where credit's due. It had some baller battles, but you had to wait 3.5 hours of hobbits walking through a mountain to get to the baller battle. Even the trees walked in that fucking movie. Like what the fuck are we doing here? You know
that
what I mean?
Was the length of the movies. I think is a big reason why I feel like don't hold up as well today. We don't need 3-hour movies. That's just too much. That's way too much.
And then you get to the third one, which had 27 different endings. It just, there were so many stopping points they could have ended it on, and they just kept going. I was in the movie theater. I'll still remember it to this day. I was in the movie theater watching that third one, just going like, "Oh my God, it's still not over!" Like I was loudly yelling at the screen. I can't believe this is still going. I was so annoyed, so annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the Hobbit movies at all.
Yeah, I only watched the first one, and then I was like, I'm
same
done
here.
I haven't watched any of the Hobbit movies.
I watched the first one in theaters. I disliked it so much that I didn't even bother with the other two. And I have friends who are really big into Lord of the Rings, and they're excited for this new movie to come, the new show. I feel like the Lord of the Rings premise lends itself better to a TV show. So maybe in that sense, the Ring of Power will be a better kind of adaptation of that book. Because I know it's not, it's not the original Lord of the Rings. But
Halo.
I hope not, because Halo was bad. Halo was so bad. Halo to me falls into the same bucket as the DCEU. It's just it could have been so good and it was horrible.
I don't know if it's that bad.
We'll see. I'll give it a chance, but I got a funny feeling that I'm gonna be real disinterested real quick.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Johnny Butters says Randall from Clerks 2 gave the best synopsis for the Lord of the Rings. And he really did. He hit the nail on the head in that movie. So we don't have to go too far into it, but just keep in mind at least one episode, but I believe the first 2 episodes are premiering September 2nd for Lord of the Rings. That's on Amazon Prime. One of the other things, since Johnny wants us to talk about Dragon Ball Super, I'm going to pivot here and we're going to talk about Tekken Bloodline on Netflix. Have you guys
watched it?
I have not. I didn't even realize it was out.
No.
It came out
I didn't realize
a
it was
week
out
ago.
till today.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing last night.
So what'd you think? I'm definitely gonna watch that. I'm a giant Tekken fan, so
real quick, it's very fast. Like it's like 6 half-hour episodes. You get through it super quick.
I'll finish that tonight.
Animation's good. They really paid attention to like when there's fight scenes going on, to giving them actual combos and moves that the characters use in the game.
That's
so like there's combos that everybody knows, like Jin's combo and King's like rotating combos of suplexes and stuff that they put in the show that really like make you think that like they were paying attention, like they really wanted to.
So it's like good. So there's actually some respect for Tekken. That's been my problem. Every Tekken adaptation we've gotten so far, it's like, they go so far as to use some of the characters from Tekken, and then at that point just stop paying attention to the lore and all that crap, and just kind of throw some random thing together. It's similar to the Street Fighter movies. The live action movies anyway. They throw the characters on screen. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't think that there has been a Tekken done well. You know what I mean? They feel like if the character sort of looks like the character from the games, then we're gonna be happy with it. But you're not the first one to say it was good. I know a few people. Johnny Butters says it was good, and I know I have a friend who's a big Tekken fan who also said it was actually very good. So I didn't realize it was out until today. Like, I literally had no idea. It kind of flew right under my radar. So I'll definitely.
My brother hit me up, told me it was out, and I watched it yesterday, and before I knew it was over. Like it really is a fast watch.
Well, you're a Tekken guy like me, so I mean, if you like it, then I guarantee I'll probably like it too. So
I mean, like, listen, if it was longer and they like dragged it out for no reason whatsoever, I'd probably be saying something different right now.
Right.
But because it was so quick and it's really just an Iron Fist tournament, like the whole show.
That's amazing though. That's all you really need.
But that's what it needs to be.
They keep trying to fucking do stupid shit with Mortal Kombat, and all we want is the Mortal Kombat tournament. It's the same kind of thing. There's a reason why the first Mortal Kombat movie was good.
The only thing I'll say is that they could have shown more fights, because at one point they just cycle through like, oh, this person lost to this person and this person lost to that person, and they don't really show the fights of them. So it would have been nice if they even gave us like a couple quick snippets of just like the winning strike or whatever,
right?
Right. Other than that, I mean, it's quick, it's fun, it's Tekken. Everybody should watch it. No.
Yeah. Mm. I'm gonna start watching it tonight. I'll probably have it finished by tomorrow. And Johnny Muniz, Johnny Butters, whatever you want to call you. Here's the moment of truth for you. We're gonna start talking about The Last of Us. Did you guys see the quick scene from the HBO sizzle reel?
I did. Nope. I saw it.
So then, did you play the game? I know you're an Xbox guy.
So I played a little bit of it. It's not my style of game.
Oh,
play.
You know what? I can't take you seriously.
It's just slow. It's just really slow.
It is a slower game. It is a slower game. That's kind of like the point, I guess. It's all stealth and
yeah. I mean, it's all.
I've heard it's a great game.
Yeah, I mean, like story wise, I've heard it's amazing. Like I
love it. I think it's
just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, if I'm gonna spend hours playing it, like I gotta be able to do something.
I think it's I fucking love the game. The story on it is one of in my opinion, it's one of my top 5 games of all time. Story wise, gameplay wise, it's phenomenal. It looks great. I think it's ridiculous that we're getting a remaster or a remake or whatever they want to call it. It's not that the game, even on PS3, still looks fantastic to modern standards. So it's ridiculous that they're redoing it. That's besides the point. In the 20 seconds we saw in the HBO sizzle reel, it's similar, I would say, in Uncharted, in the Mortal Kombat trailers, where the look is nailed down 100%. They got the characters looking right. They got everything sounds right. The environments look good. Obviously it remains to be seen whenever it comes out, which I believe is coming out next year, in 2023.
Early though.
Early next year. But we'll see what happens when it actually comes out, and if it actually hits the right marks. But it looked, to me, it looked excellent, and that 20 seconds was able to get me fired up for it. So it's something to look out for. That's coming to HBO and HBO Max. They got the Pedro Pascal. Looks like he's nailing the lead role. So the big talk is going to be about the creatures and the zombies and whatever you call it.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see how they do. I hope they do more practical than CG effects, but who knows? And I hope they keep the monsters not as frequent, because the game, there, you know, there's obviously a bunch of monster fights, but it's not about that. It's not about them surviving that even. It's about them kind of connecting with the main character and the girl, connecting and forming a bond over this trip that they're taking. So,
I mean,
if they focus on that, it would be good.
They treat it like the first 3 or 4 seasons of Walking Dead, where the zombies are just kind of like a nuisance more than like the main problem, you know. And they keep it between the character development between the humans. I think it'll be a hit.
I agree.
I think Offerman looks insane in this show. Nick Offerman looks insane in this show. I think he's going to be awesome. And plus, you got Pedro Pascal, so we know he's a crazy good actor. So I mean, anything,
and he respects the source material. He's one of those actors that will fight to make sure that they kind of nail the right performances down.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see.
Can I leave his fucking helmet on? Sorry.
Well, he was probably excited to take a role like this where he doesn't have to wear a helmet at all. He might have to wear a gas mask though. So let's see.
I think he likes wearing the helmet, man.
What else can we talk about before we talk about Dragon Ball Superhero? No, I'm kidding, Johnny.
You have against Dragon Ball?
No, I'm kidding.
It's just the mess with Butters.
That's next on my list. I have not seen it, Johnny. Did you see it in theaters? Did you watch a bootleg of it? Because I'm hearing a lot of good things. It's in theaters right now, and I'm hearing it's fantastic. Offerman is not playing Tommy, Johnny. Offerman is playing Bill, which is the guy in the game that Joel and Ellie meet up with in Boston, I believe it was. Or Baltimore. I forget exactly where they meet up. But anyway, I've been hearing Dragon Ball Superhero is unbelievable. Better than Dragon Ball Brawly. Dragon Ball Super Brawly. I'm hearing that
I've heard the opposite.
See, I didn't hear that. All the reviews I've read and all the people I know who've seen it have said that they enjoyed this more than Brawly.
Anybody that's a Goku or Gohan fan is going to say that.
Well, that's a good point. I'm a Brawly fan, so it's going to be hard to kick Brawly off of the top spot for me.
I'm going to be honest, I kind of fell off on the whole Dragon Ball thing for the last few years. This might bring me back in.
You got to, man. Dragon Ball Super is on Hulu. The manga, I don't read it, but I do read, keep up with the storylines that are coming. And
you need to read it.
It looks, I mean, the storylines I've read look fantastic. And I can't wait for them to animate that and bring that to the screen. So I'm loving both of it. Johnny and Butters saw both. I know, Johnny, you probably love the crap out of it, right? I think that I want to go see it in theaters. I don't know how I'm going to get to. It's supposed to come out streaming in the next 45 days. Or 45 days after the theater run ends. So it's
going to be streaming on Crunchyroll?
It'll start on Crunchyroll, and then it will make its way over to Hulu.
Yeah.
Same thing with Dragon Ball, Superhero, Super Brawly, and the Dragon Ball Super Show. They went to Crunchyroll first, and then came to Hulu. So you figure before the end of the year, it'll be able to stream on Hulu probably.
See, the animes that I've been delving into over the last couple of years. I don't know what it was about Dragon Ball, but as a kid, I was into it, and then I just watching it week to week just became to be too much because that style of anime where nothing happens and they're sitting in the air powering up for an entire episode became very difficult for me to watch with my ADD and everything like that. So,
I don't blame you.
But I want to get back into Dragon Ball because I've gotten back into anime by watching My Hero and One Piece.
My Hero is good. I never watched One Piece.
One Piece is good, man, and it's got me back into watching anime again.
So Steve hasn't watched Cobra Kai or Karate Kid, but he watched One Piece. What kind of nonsense is that?
I like anime more than anything.
All right, so you know what you heard it here, folks. Steve's gonna start his own anime podcast and talk about all the anime.
Our anime aficionado.
He does read the manga. I'll give him that. He finds time for that. Johnny Butters says Brawly was better.
I will give a shout out to Captain because he's the one that told me the last chapter of Dragon Ball came out.
Oh,
because it usually comes out on 21st, but he read it before I did.
Wow,
the manga.
The manga, like Panda.
Word.
Johnny Butter
Like
says
Honda.
Johnny Butter says Brawley was better, but I love the way they introduced Gohan and Piccolo's power level. Now I did see something. I don't want to spoil the movie too much. Obviously, if you know Dragon Ball, you know that in order to save the day, somebody had to upgrade their power level to something they never reached before. But I did read something saying that movie is not canon, so the power levels will not carry over to any of the future shows or mangas or Mongolians, whatever you want to call it.
It's not canon.
That's what I read. That could have just been a rumor. Who knows? But I read an article saying that apparently it's been confirmed that the movie's not canon. So, which I don't know. I know the movies in the past didn't always follow canon. They were kind of side stories that didn't matter. But from what I understand,
the first Broly movie wasn't canon.
But Brawley wasn't it?
Not the first one.
No, but the one that came out before this one.
The last one was, yeah.
Yeah, like I was under the impression that the movies going forward were going to be part of the ongoing canon of the Dragon Ball universe, but I guess that's not the case. Who knows? I mean, we'll find out for sure probably in the coming months, but again, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, if you're an anime fan and you grew up with Dragon Ball, it's in theaters now. Dragon Ball Superhero, and from what I understand, it's worth watching, especially if you're a Gohan or a Piccolo fan. And then so those are all like the quick announcement topics that I wanted to throw out there. Next, I wanted to talk about House of the Dragon. So, one shot. I know you haven't seen it. We're not going to throw spoilers out there.
Why haven't I seen it?
I watched it, so I don't even know. I have no idea why I haven't watched it.
Why haven't I seen it?
I have no idea. I saw it myself.
I'll wait.
He's going to blame Spartacus for this for some reason.
I watched it. I don't know.
Wait.
You didn't watch it. I watched it.
So. Yeah, let's watch this together. All right, I'll wait for you.
Whoa. For the record, I said I'll watch it on Sunday night. You watch it sometime Monday, and we'll talk about it today.
You guys sound like the worst
yes.
married couple on the planet.
Oh,
right
yes.
Now.
Oh,
he watched
yes.
the show without me.
In the manga, does not have Gohan and Piccolo power level yet. Johnny Butter says the manga is not talking about Gohan and Piccolo's current power level, so maybe it is canon. Maybe what I read was a bunch of horse shit.
Maybe you're wrong like half the time you are.
That's all right. You conveniently are blaming me. I don't know. I guess I'm a good scapegoat. But anyway, so I know you haven't watched it, but Carmine, I know you did watch it. And I would say my opinion, my rating would be an 8 out of 10 based off on episode 1. How do you feel?
I'm a little lower than that, but I mean, it's hard for me because even the original Game of Thrones, like the first 2 episodes, I thought were terrible. And it took me so long to get into Game of Thrones. Like, because I stopped watching it after the second episode, and then everybody was like, no, you got to watch it, you got to watch it, you got to watch it. Get past like 4 episodes and you're going to be hooked, I swear. And I was, and everybody was right. You know what I mean? And this, I feel, has a similar feel to it almost.
I agree. But before we get into it real quick, I just want to shout out Pam Hastings in the comments. She says, "Hi guys, I found you a little while back because of Tom McDonald, so I just wanted to swing in and say hi. Wishing you guys the best of luck. I'll keep watching. Thanks for jumping into the chat, Pam. And
hello, Pam.
I appreciate it. And right now we're talking about House of the Dragon. We are going to avoid spoilers if you're a fan, so let us know what you think if you did watch it. For the record, Steve, who does the Tom McDonald reactions, did not watch it, and he's trying to blame me.
Because you.
But yeah, so I feel like I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. All right, I read the books. I'm patiently waiting for the remaining books to come out. I don't think they're ever going to come out. I think we've basically just got to write them off and move on. I, along with everybody else, hated the last 2 seasons of the Game of Thrones show. And I felt like this story was not a story we needed to see. There's other stories that are in the history of Game of Thrones that I would have preferred. And I felt like when I read that they canceled the other show they were doing with Naomi Watts, I think it was, because it was too different from Game of Thrones, and instead they wanted to focus on this one. That's not a good thing, and that kind of annoyed me because I was like, we don't need more of the same. I want something new. And I will say that they basically kind of won me over after episode 1. I mean, it's enough. It's similar enough to the old show that it kind of makes you almost like that warm feeling of being back home. But they did set up a few storylines, and it just felt different enough where I'm kind of all in. I'll be excited for the rest of the season. I thought the acting was good, the visuals were good, the action was good. It was an excellent show. You know, I didn't like the first 15 minutes because the dialogue was very like like what's the word I'm thinking of? Like it was basically like, "Oh, hello, my brother," like just kind of introduce everybody. It was very cheesy. But then once they got past that, then they started kind of really finding their rhythm. And then I really liked it. I enjoyed the whole episode, and I'm excited for what comes next. So, if you haven't watched it yet, House of the Dragons on HBO Max. It premiered on Sunday. It'll be on every Sunday at 9, and we're gonna be talking about it every week. So,
I mean, listen, I'm excited to see where they go with it. But like, you know, there was a lot of like, just like setup. There's just a lot of like setup. Like these are the characters, and it's like the original Game of Thrones, where I'm never gonna remember any of their freaking names anyway, especially with the Targaryens, because it's just like everybody's Daenerys, Daenerys, Daenusis.
So that's when if I ever develop a superpower, it's probably just gonna be to be able to keep track of all those names. For some reason, with Spartacus, with Game of Thrones, it's in me to just kind of know who belongs to what house. And
did you say Spartacus?
Yeah.
Yeah, the show.
Spartacus.
Spartacus. You made it sound seductive. Spartacus.
I mean, you're reaching right now just because you didn't watch House of the Dragon. You're coming at me.
Pam, it's your fault.
Pam, you hear this? He's coming at me. I do agree, Pam. The books were better, except for the 5th book. I was not a fan of the 5th book. It was very hard to read, or not hard to read, but hard to get through. But yeah, I don't disagree, Carmine. I do think that one thing I do want them to move away from is the constant callbacks to the original show. Like the Game of Thrones theme doesn't need to play every 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like they, I understand they're gonna have some fan service and they're gonna show like they had the Valyrian steel dagger in there and all that stuff, so that's fine. But like as the show goes on, I hope they kind of distance themselves a little bit and just separate from the original show. We don't need to constantly go back to that show.
It's also like halfway a prequel to the original show, so it's got to have some sort of like you're gonna have some sort of connections here and there, but for the most part, you don't need to like rely on the whole Game of Thrones.
Right. I hope they don't. If they rely on it consistently and for too long, then it's just going to take away from this current show. So, I will say, One Shot, if you haven't seen the original Game of Thrones, which I'm pretty sure you said you haven't, you should watch that too. We can keep up with House of the Dragon, and then you watch that. You maybe do some reactions.
You want to watch it together? Because I know that one.
Well, I'd rather you watch it by yourself, but I guess you're not going to unless I watch it with you. I got to hold your hand the whole time?
I think Steve should like film himself watching the original Game of Thrones, and me and you should react to Steve watching the original Game of Thrones.
I would do that for 100%. That's a whole series of videos right there.
That would be a boring ass reaction series.
Yeah, it'll just be Steve staring at
just me going, I fucking hate this.
So yeah, I don't want to go into spoilers. I figure what we'll do with House of the Dragon, since it premieres on Sunday, is the Tuesday following the premiere or the episode, we won't spoil it, and then next in Theater Room we can go into detail about what happened in episode 1 and how it pertains to episode 2 without spoiling episode 2 too much. I want people to want to actually jump into the stream. So, besides that, since we can't go into spoilers, let's talk about She-Hulk. She-Hulk episode 1, a very pleasant surprise, if you ask me. No, I know you watched it. I have proof that you watched it.
Surprised. Oh my god, I was so happy, bro. I was so happy.
Oh wait, real quick, Pam is siding with Steve. She says I did say Spartacus, and
thank you,
but she was gonna let it slide.
Thank you.
I guess I got used to saying.
Slide.
I got used
He'll
to saying
take advantage of it.
I got used to saying Spartacus, so you know. My lips just do that. But anyway, She-Hulk. I loved it. I really enjoyed the episode. What'd you guys think?
I absolutely loved it. Like, honestly, it is the best first episode of a Marvel Disney Plus show we've gotten so far.
That's a bold statement. I don't know if I would agree with that, but what about you?
Did you say the best?
Best first episode of a Marvel Disney Plus show.
Well, so
I disagree.
But what did you think, Steve? Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah. I mean, you've got my reaction on it. What the fuck are you talking about?
You gotta say it for the masses.
Of any of these shows, would you say was better than this?
Loki.
Nah, not the first episode.
Yeah.
First episode, slow
I enjoyed it.
No, but see, I think I agree with Steve.
That don't mean anything.
I feel like the first episode of Loki But see, now it's different times though, right? When that was what Loki was the second show they were releasing, so we didn't really know what to expect from these shows. So I think the excitement leading up to Loki was higher than She-Hulk. But
Yeah,
whether or not the She-Hulk first episode was the best, I really don't know. That's a bold statement. I'd have to rewatch all the shows just to kind of figure it out.
Listen, I mean, I think Captain America, Falcon Winter Soldier comes close because that first episode's baller.
See, Falcon Winter Soldier is excellent. I love the first episode of Falcon.
Yeah.
I liked it, but
this one just hit different for me, man. I'm telling you, there's something about this show. I think this show is going to be really, really good, man. I'm really excited for it.
Real quick, Pam says watching somebody watch TV, that's about as exciting as the last time I watched paint dry. So I don't think she's a fan of our idea.
Listen, Pam, we can make anything entertaining, all right?
Yeah, once we start talking shit, it'll just get more exciting. Just a couple of things I really liked about She-Hulk is, first of all, the CG. So we live in a weird world right now, right? Where we have a TV show with a fully CG character and two fully CG characters done well. Excuse me, done well with, and when I say done well, meaning it doesn't take you out of the show, right? And we have people complaining that the CG is not good. Meanwhile, all I remember is Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I remember Blade 2, the sword fight. You know, like, I remember fucking Blade 1 with the big blood effects, like Silver Surfer. Just Fantastic Four, both Fantastic Four movies. Like, you know, CG has been, so we've come such a long way. And I get that the younger generation doesn't know the older stuff, but like, to say the CG was bad, even based off the trailer, to be that angry about it is nuts. They clearly fixed a lot of the problems that they had, but it looked great. It looked great.
We all agreed that, like, that first trailer, the CG looked fucking terrible. Like, we all agreed on it. We reacted to it when we first talked about it and everything like that. We all were under the same boat, right? They definitely went back and fixed a lot of stuff because it does not look like that at all anymore.
Right.
No. So they went back, they fixed it. I mean, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, but it doesn't take you out of the show. We got an entire episode of pretty much Hulk talking to She-Hulk, and them fighting, and them, like, you know, drinking and having a good time with each other and all this other stuff. And at no point were you just like, this looks terrible.
No. I mean, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk looked fantastic the whole time. Yeah. She looked unbelievable the whole time. I really think just the whole storyline, you know, quickly giving us the origin. Within the first 5 minutes, should we basically find out how they changed the origin for the show, which I didn't hate at all. You know what I mean? It made sense to me. Because if you think about it, in the MCU in particular, what about Bruce Banner tells us that he would willingly donate his blood to anybody? No matter how serious it is, he would, in his mind, I'm not going to curse you for life, so I'm not going to do it. So the way they set it up, it was perfect. It was funny, I thought. The fourth wall breaks weren't overly done. I was excited about it, honestly. I liked everything about it.
No, it reminds me of the She-Hulk comics from the early 90s. It was very much in that style. The fourth wall breaks were executed perfectly. Like you said, they weren't overdone. It wasn't like every 10 minutes her talking to the audience and stuff like that.
Which, really, frankly, that's what's going to happen with Deadpool. Like, you know, and I understand that's kind of his character, so it works for him. But if that happened with her, it would have been too much.
To be fair, like, her comics did it before Deadpool.
Way before Deadpool. I was not arguing, but I was talking to a coworker, and you know, I was saying to her that people don't realize that she was breaking the fourth wall way before Deadpool was even conceived.
Way before Deadpool. Deadpool didn't even exist. Like, she was breaking the fourth wall before Deadpool even debuted.
Right.
You know. So she's really the first comic character to really do it on that level.
Yeah.
And they put so much into this first episode that it's like and like the trailer that we got, right, where it showed Wong, it showed Daredevil, it showed all these other characters that are going to be popping in and out of the show, and the first episode was none of that.
Right.
It was just her and Bruce.
Well, it seems like all the setup was done already. All the setup was completed in episode 1, and now they can just run with the show the way they want us to see it.
Yeah, and there's still like a bunch of different storylines run through storylines we're gonna have here.
Yeah,
yeah, and the Sicarian ship showed up.
Well, that gets me so excited. I mean, I really in my bones believe that is the first real breadcrumb towards World War Hulk. I think it's coming. I think we're gonna get it. It's gonna be a few years still, but 100%. That is going to lead us to World War Hulk, and that's one of my favorite storylines in the comics. So at the very
least, it leads us to Scar.
Yes, 100%.
At the very least, it leads us to Scar. Now, like my question about the World War Hulk stuff, and this is like, I've seen a lot of people upset about the whole Professor Hulk angle. Is if we do get World War Hulk, he can't be Professor Hulk in that.
I don't think he's gonna be. So there's a quick. Well, hold on, but I just want to point out this comment that Pam Hastings made in the comments. She said, "I think all the special effects and CGI stuff goes over well with male characters, and some people cannot reconcile a woman doing some stuff." I don't fully disagree, but I don't think it's about a female character in CGI doing things. I think it's more about the fact that women in general, always have to put on an appearance. They always have to put on makeup. Everything's got to look smooth. And, making that in CG kind of automatically gives you that kind of like plastic kind of look. Because there's no pores. There's nothing to like break up the light and the skin. Whereas like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk has like the 5 o'clock shadow, wrinkles everywhere. And like, stereotypically that's kind of how a guy is supposed to look versus a woman. And I feel like that's really, the world, unfortunately, we live in is not... woke is not the right word, but they're not ready for the truth yet. You know what I mean? So I personally thought it looked great. I didn't have an issue with anything that was on the show.
No, I didn't have an issue with it either. I mean, like our issues basically stem from that first trailer.
Yeah,
that was the only issue.
The very first trailer where clearly they didn't finish the CGI.
Objectively, if you look at that first trailer, she has got the most wonkiest face on the planet in that trailer, and it didn't. To be fair, it didn't look like that in the show.
Right,
like the show she looks amazing.
Well, I think
and she's a great actress.
100%.
She's phenomenal, man.
I think the green was too bright. It was like the facial animation was just a little off, so you had that uncanny valley going. So they fixed it by then. So people will start to just fall in line because the show is already that good, and I don't think there's gonna be a problem with it. Yeah. To go back to your point where you were saying about Professor Hulk, so here's my theory. I told my friend this the other day. I think we're gonna find out in this She-Hulk show. My theory, my guess is that the ship is basically saying to Hulk, we need Hulk to help us because maybe the Grand Master or somebody is trying to take over Sakaar again, right? And Hulk at first, or Bruce Banner at first, is like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But then he finds out that maybe Hulk had a relationship there that he didn't know about. Maybe he doesn't know he has a kid yet, but maybe there's like a wife or somebody that he had there that Bruce Banner just finds out about, and that makes him go, all right, I can't leave somebody that Hulk loved or Hulk had a relationship with kind of stranded on the planet. So then I think that's what's gonna make him go to figure out whatever else is going on. When he gets there, he's gonna find out that maybe he had a love interest, maybe he started a family, that Bruce Banner wasn't aware of, and Smart Hulk will kind of live there and kind of he won't abandon his family kind of thing. Then we'll get the whole storyline of like his family gets killed, and he thinks. Maybe that it's the Illuminati or the Avengers or whoever it is. And I think that amount of rage he feels when that happens and he thinks that it's his friends who did it is going to almost overpower whatever he did to make Smart Hulk. And the original, like, rage-filled monster Hulk is going to come out and take over. And that's where we're going to lead into the Planet Hulk movie or World War Hulk movie. So I agree with you. He can't be Smart Hulk. But I think they're going to lead into a reason why he's no longer Smart Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, if they try and do World War Hulk with Smart Hulk, it's going to fail miserably.
You can't. There's a scene in this episode where he's fighting Jennifer, and like he gets kind of angry after she hits him in the face, and you almost get a little hint of like, there is, and he keeps talking about how like one burst of anger can mean death for people. So even though he's combined the two personalities, there's still that. Clearly, there's still that like part of him that's trying to break free a little bit. You know what I mean?
This is the first time too that they've dived into the whole DID thing of him having an alter ego, that they are not the same person. whereas Jennifer is the same person. Like she's just Jennifer with Hulk powers.
Yeah.
Whereas Bruce is Bruce and the Hulk is the Hulk.
Do you think they go into the whole abusive father angle from the comics?
I mean, I don't. So this is where
abusive father. No, I don't think so.
You think they avoid that? Is that too deep of a topic for Disney Plus?
I think it's too touchy for Disney.
They did it with Moon Knight.
They did do a Moon Knight. And they did it pretty heavily there.
Did it heavy with Moon Knight.
What do you mean?
Episode is heavy, dude. You're out of your mind.
I mean, they're clearly making it a big deal about the fact that she can control herself no matter what, and he can't. Yeah. So they have to explain that at some point. They're not bringing it up for no reason. It's just a matter of how they explain
it. They explained it. They explained it kind of in this show where she talks about how like she's always known how to control her anger because she's grown up as a woman in this society and stuff like that. And women, and those are solid points too. Like women do have to control their anger constantly, otherwise they're seen as emotional or whatever. And it's a solid point, and it makes the point of like that's why She-Hulk is able to control herself better than he has ever been able to. But the DID thing, like the backstory of Hulk in the MCU is kind of shoddy.
Right, they haven't really gone over
Hulk. Well, we had the Incredible Hulk, which everybody's saying is canon, right?
It is canon. So, I mean, they're finally revisiting it now after all these years, but it is canon.
If you remember, like that was supposed to be a direct sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk, which they did the abusive father thing
in Ang Lee's Hulk. Yeah. I mean,
so did we get the abusive father storyline, or did we not?
Well, let me ask you this question: How important is it? How important is it that Bruce Banner's father abused him in the grand scheme of things? I mean, it's really not. It's just a matter of him having DID, and how do you explain that if you have to explain it?
It's only important in the whole DID aspect, where he is two separate entities in one.
I mean, they could easily just say, he made a comment about how their DNA synthesizes gamma radiation differently, so they could just simply say, well, you just synthesize it in a way where you control it, and I don't. I kind of hope they go into the real another guy on the.
Yeah, but he also makes the comment of you don't have another guy.
Right.
You are the only one with the hand on the wheel. Like I always have one hand on the wheel.
Right.
So they're admitting the DID thing. So I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't think they have to explain a lot with him at this point.
Right. I don't think they have to either. I don't think people are really signing in for that deep explanation. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people are just signing in because they want to see Hulk rage out and go berserk.
Yeah.
Pam Hastings says,
in all honesty, I doubt we see him for the rest of the series.
Well, we'll get him, I think, for at least another episode. But at some point, he's going to leave to go to Sakaar, and then that'll be it. We won't see him again.
Yeah.
Pam Hastings says a little Hulk would be adorable. But question for you, Pam. Are you talking about like a Baby Yoda type Hulk? Or are you talking about like a little like Incredible Hulk type Hulk? Because that might be fucked up. If you picture a little baby that just won't be able to control itself and just losing its shit, throwing a tantrum.
Damn, I don't know if you read the comics, but Scar is not a cute little Hulk.
Toxic masculinity. Wait, toxic musicality or masculinity, Pam?
Masculinity.
You got room to fucking talk.
No, I make mistakes all the time. I fuck up. This is maybe the first podcast you've seen, but I stutter and make mistakes all the time, Pam.
Don't feed into him, Pam. He's just being a dickhead.
No. I'm being a meanie, Pam.
But yeah,
we don't curse on this show.
He's the train conductor in our train wreck.
I try my best. You know what I mean? I try my best.
Real quick, does your mouse say ass?
Does my mouse say ass?
No.
I will?
No. Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
There's actually a T. It says ASST screws.
Okay. I've been looking at it for like 20 minutes. Like, does that say ass?
So where do we think this show's going? Is it going to be the fun half-hour legal drama, legal comedy every week?
I think
we think it's going to be.
I think for a few weeks, yes. I think it's just going to follow the same pacing issues as every other Disney Plus show. Now they got 9 episodes instead of 6, so we're going to get 3 or 4 weeks of trial of the week. Jennifer trying to figure out how to, win and move up in her job and all that stuff. and then suddenly some serious enemy will show up, and Bruce won't be around to help. Daredevil will be, and Daredevil.
It's going to be really dramatic towards the end of the series.
Yeah, the last 3 episodes I think are going to all of a sudden focus on one storyline that was like the seeds are planted in the episode 1 and 2, and then it'll get serious for 3 episodes. I don't know if it's going to go full blown comedy the whole time.
I think
you're going to see her round of applause.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to be bringing heavy on the Roxxon Corp.
I think so. I think so for sure. Do you think we get any other cameos? So we have already, obviously, Bruce. We know Daredevil's showing up. Abomination obviously showing up. Wong is showing up. Wong. Are there any other cameos that you think might show up before the season's over?
I mean, so they showed a bunch of other things in the show, right? A bunch of other like weird sub like F level like characters.
Yeah.
I've heard Porcupine Man's supposed to be showing up, Leapfrog rather. So I mean, there's also an older storyline of, I mean, I don't know if Disney would actually do this, but She-Hulk at one point has to defend Star Fox.
Okay.
On like a rape trial.
Like the pilot from Star Fox 64?
No, like Star Fox, we saw him at the end of Eternals.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because his power,
a rape trial, they're not going to bring that.
Well, his power is that he can seduce women, and
no shot.
I don't think they do that either.
That's a product of.
But it doesn't mean he doesn't show up.
That's a product of classic like coke fueled error comic books. Yeah, like that's not
100%. But it doesn't mean he doesn't show up where they have to. She has to defend him in something.
Pam says Baby Hulk would be funny as fuck. I kind of agree.
I don't disagree with that either.
But I'd love to see it. Literally, he's got to look like mean rage-filled Hulk and just be smaller. Just be a tiny version of that. I would love it. Like a mini version of that. That'd be amazing.
Like a baby Groot sized Hulk.
Yeah. Just
smashing.
But I want him to look like everything. I want him to look like Edward Norton's Hulk.
Like ripped like that. Maybe they do that. You know, Marvel might do that.
Really tiny.
Marvel might do that.
If that's the scar that we get, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But I mean, this show could definitely lead us to a lot of different other storylines, and I think it's smart on Disney part to have a show that you can drop characters in and out of like this. No, it makes a lot of sense. It means they can like go in different directions with it.
Right. No, I agree.
Pam, if you wanna fight Chris, I'm up for it. I got your back.
One of these guys will gladly slap me in the face if that's what you want to see on camera. It wouldn't take much.
What's Pam saying here?
She said I tried to mansplain. I don't know what I tried to mansplain, but maybe I did.
If you're gonna cancel anybody, cancel him. Don't cancel me. I'll continue doing
we're feminists.
Yeah, I have a daughter. I'm feminist. Pam says I'm having a good time. All my friends are male, so there's nothing you guys are going to say that's going to offend me. We don't want to offend, so hopefully we didn't offend. Yeah. We're just having fun.
Absolutely.
But listen, Pam, seriously though, if you want them to slap me on camera, it won't take much. I mean, Steve will drive 9 hours to come slap me on camera. So
I'll make it in 7.
He can't find time to watch House of the Dragon, but he'll find time to drive here and slap me in the face if you need him to.
Facts.
I will be there to film it.
Johnny Muniz says a Hulk version of Jack from The Incredibles would be fantastic too.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
That's basically he turns into a little mini Hulk, right, in the movie, the big red monster, the little red monster. So
yeah. Speaking of little red monsters, do we get a red Hulk?
I feel like we're gonna get one. I don't think we're gonna get one with Thunderbolts. I don't think they're gonna bring it there. I don't think they really can right now. But I do think, Feige knows what people want, and I feel like he's gonna kind of set the groundwork to give us a Red Hulk at some point and do it in a way that makes sense for the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get it in this show, but
I don't think we're getting it in this show. I honestly don't know if we're gonna get a ton of any big cameos. Daredevil we know is a big part of the show. He'll be around for a couple of episodes while Steve checks his pit stains.
I think they said 3 episodes.
I took a shower before we jumped on here, and apparently I didn't.
Oh yeah, sure, it was a shower.
Yeah, the only place he didn't dry off.
Yeah.
But they said 3 episodes of Matt Murdock, Daredevil. So, no, I mean, you take that for what he wills. I mean, they have to start bringing him in more because they got Echo, they got Born Again coming.
If anything, maybe Kingpin shows up. Maybe in
that's
trial or something,
too.
you know. Maybe that's what brings Matt Murdock in, because Kingpin shows up and, you know, she might need some help.
They really got to start explaining to us, like, if the Netflix Daredevil show was a different universe or if it is canon to this universe, because like Kingpin's already been on trial. We had a whole episode called The Trial of Kingpin.
Right. And it's funny though, right? Because his outfit, the Daredevil's costume, is the same costume that he had, just with gold pieces now instead of red. But but the layout is the same. So there's like a little bit that sort of got their foot in the Netflix shows, and then a little bit that doesn't. So who the hell knows?
I just want them to tell us just so we can understand kind of canon of what's going on.
We will. I mean, they'll tell us at some point. That's for sure. Yeah. We got a new person in the chat. I'm gonna ruin this name. I'm sorry, Malia Sewell. Did I say that wrong?
That's why I didn't say.
I apologize. I apologize if I fucked it up. But welcome to the chat. Thanks for jumping in. Let us know where you found us, or if you happen to stumble across the podcast. Either way is fine. But we're just curious to know.
Yeah. Now the other question is, do we get Jessica Jones?
I do think so. Now, if we do get another cameo besides what they announced, I feel like Jessica Jones is that cameo, or at least maybe not her specifically, but like maybe I can't think of the one she worked with, the big lawyer, the big lawyer chick that she worked with,
Miranda something.
I can't remember her name now, but you know what I'm talking. Like maybe someone from her show that will basically confirm that we're getting a Jessica Jones show.
Yeah, I mean they've already kind of confirmed that they've talked to Kristen Ritter that she's in, that we are getting Jessica Jones back at some point. We just don't know where or when. I think She-Hulk's a good spot to bring her in. I mean, she needs a private investigator to help her with some.
Honestly, She-Hulk's a good spot to bring Punisher in too. If they're bringing John Bernthal back as Punisher, I would love for him to make a cameo.
There have been a lot of rumors about it, man. A lot of rumors of Bernthal coming back. I don't know where they would fit him in. You know what I mean? I mean, Armor Wars, I think, is the smart place,
right,
to bring him in. You know, give him the warranty armor.
I mean, the program is showing the audio come through no problem, Malia. I'm sorry.
I've got it up. We got audio.
Also, maybe it is just you. I don't want to mansplain though, Pam. Can you help her out?
Pam, I'm telling you, right here.
Pam asked how much it'll cost for an open hand slap. It'll be free. Yeah. Maybe pay for gas. Punch. Maybe pay for gas.
Smile.
You just got to get my good side.
We can do a closed fist with the pinky out.
That's weird.
That'd be a weird one. It would be weird.
Who would do that? That's strange.
If they want it, I'm doing it.
But yeah, I think this could be a good stepping off point for us to get to the Defenders.
Yes, 100%. Hey, maybe She-Hulk becomes a part of the Defenders. Although I think she's more of an Avenger in the comics and stuff. Yeah. So, you know, that could be a step towards that.
So there's been a theme with all the Disney Plus shows and Phase 4 and in general of older characters training the next up and coming Avengers. You know, so we kind of have the basis of the plan of like what the team's going to look like that goes into, you know, to fight Kang and this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, maybe that's how they do it. Thor goes off world to Sakaar, and Jen's the only one that's here to defend us. So she has to join up with Ant-Man and the rest of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, too. I mean, they're basically doing that now, right? We got Bruce Banner teaching Jennifer how to be a Hulk, essentially. So,
yeah.
They're following that same path.
They're the two of the only people that can defend the Earth with the power that they have. So she's got to be ready to do that.
I'm surprised that they still haven't really addressed whether the Sokovia Accords are a thing.
She can hear us now.
I thought
welcome.
I
Malia,
thought they
welcome.
addressed that in Captain America.
Not really. I mean, they mentioned him.
Winter Soldier.
They mentioned him a little bit, but they didn't. They didn't flat out say if the Sokovia Accords are still in effect or if there's a new bill that's in effect or anything like that. I mean, clearly something's going on because they have government agencies now tracking down heroes that aren't registered. So they have some sort of bill in effect that's supposed to be
policing them. I don't know if it's
them.
necessarily the Sokovia Accords anymore. I think what's it called? Damage control is just now the overseeing maybe not registering superheroes, but more kind of trying to investigate and control what they can.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Malia.
Necessarily
Malia.
Malia, not Malia.
Malia.
All right.
Malia. She's not a Molotov cocktail like you're trying to make her sound like.
I mean, I apologize if I fucked the name up. I don't know why you're trying to make me feel bad about it. You make me turn red on camera. It's fucked up. I'm going to turn red like those pit stains.
Oh, man.
I'm going to turn red like the Red Hulk.
Do it. Prove it.
I can't do it. You call my bluff. I was bullshitting. So anyway, I don't think there's really anything else to talk about with the She-Hulk. We kind of hit the nail on the head. I am excited for Daredevil. That's really one of the things I was most excited for, and I can't wait for that to happen. Yeah. But based off the episode 1, I love the way they did the character. I love the look of the show, the feel of the show, and I'm excited. I can't wait for the rest of it. So,
Steve, what do you think overall, episode 1?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Yeah. Especially the end when they cut her off for the
Captain America
fucks. Captain America fucks.
That's a few. That's a weird topic of discussion whether or not he had sex. I guess people were worried about that.
But I love that part of the show because it shows that people they did it a little bit with Miss Marvel too,
right?
Where everybody just kind of has these weird theories about the Avengers and all this other stuff, and there's information coming out because we found out that Scott Lang has a podcast and apparently he wrote a book from the Comic-Con footage and stuff like that. So he's putting out information into the world that people are just kind of gobbling up and coming up with their own fan theories. It's kind of meta, you know what I mean? We're sitting here coming up with our fan theories about the shows that we're watching while they're coming up with fan theories in their universe about the actual heroes that exist there. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the first episode.
Yeah. My favorite thing about the first episode, honestly, was the fact that they acknowledged how good of friends Bruce and Tony were. It's just something that you didn't really see too much of, and it was nice to see just Bruce kind of mourning his friend a little bit, but also just acknowledging we heard the comments of I think it was back in the first Avengers movie where Tony makes a comment about sitting on a beach drinking while working on his experiments or whatever, and then we find out that he built him an actual lab on a beach somewhere. It's connections like that are the reason why I still love the MCU and why I still am here for anything that they release.
Absolutely. I mean, you could even see it too. It's they're past the point of mourning.
Yeah.
They're at the point of fond remembrance.
Right.
Which is it shows an overall growth through the whole MCU.
Right. I love it.
And there's I don't know if you picked it up, but there's a point where she's arguing with Bruce about the Captain America's a virgin thing, right? And she's and before he died, and they're in the car still, and he doesn't say Captain America, he doesn't use past tense. He used present tense.
I did not
Captain America is not a virgin. He was using present tense because he's one of the few people that knows that Cap's still alive, but he's old as shit.
I didn't catch that. That's a good catch. Yeah. I did catch, though, the quick comment about how Bruce Banner turning human is what started the healing process on his arm versus Hulk, since he was the one who snapped, his arm was not healing at all.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is kind of a big deal.
And they said that her blood accelerated the healing factor, and that completely healed his arm.
Right, so she's better. And he was like, nah, just different. But she's better.
She's better.
My favorite joke, I'll end it on this. My favorite joke of the entire episode was when he was like, you were given a lethal dose of gamma radiation. And she was like, so I'm going to die? And he goes, no. I'm going to explain more. And she's like, don't stop on that sentence. Like, that cracked me up. That was probably the best joke of the whole show.
And they had a really good dynamic together, man. They really did. So we'll see where it goes.
So One Shot is definitely going to be watching the She-Hulk show because I'm going to have to watch it with him since he won't watch it by himself. And we'll watch House of the Dragon.
I've watched by myself.
I don't think you will.
Don't fucking promise me that because you fucking lied once already.
Excuse me that I was sick for the last 3 days. God.
No fucking excuses.
It's an excuse. It's an excuse.
Ladies in the chat, explain to me how you feel when your husband watches the show without you.
How do you know they're married?
You're implying
just assuming
that
your
he's
significant other. You're right.
the husband.
Right. Just assuming.
You're implying that he's the husband.
Watches the show without you.
Just off the rails. The show, off the rails. Well, that's it, fellas. We're gonna end it there because I'm still getting over the cold and I want to go to sleep. So it's my show, so I'm gonna say it's over.
I thought you were gonna watch Tekken tonight, all of it.
I'll put it on while I'm in bed. Am I not allowed to watch shit when I'm in bed? Jesus Christ! Just getting judged left and right over here.
Ow.
Pam and Malia, Johnny Butters, and anyone else who jumped to the chat, thank you guys so much. Wait, I'm married. Pam says, or Malia says, I'm married 17 years, and after that long, you just lie and watch it again. I tried to do that, but Steve caught me, I guess.
You're a bad wife.
I just don't have the patience to wait, I guess. But anyway, thank you guys. Thanks you to everyone who jumped to the chat. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Every Tuesday, we try to do this podcast at 8:30. Pam says, Malia, tell the guys you found them because you're chasing me around YouTube. Well, thank you, Pam, for bringing new people into the chat.
We appreciate it, Pam.
Much love.
Make sure, I know, Pam, you found us from the Tom McDonald reactions. We're going to be releasing more every Friday. Every Tuesday, we do the Theater Room podcast. And hopefully we can start cranking out some more content, throughout the week for you guys. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe on Facebook as well, or join the Facebook group, because a lot of the announcements come out there first and then kind of trickle their way out to the other socials. And we'll see you guys next week. One Shot and Zuplex, thanks for jumping into the Theater Room with me.
Anytime, brother.
You're welcome.
Good night, everybody. I am tired and sleepy, and I want to go to bed. Where is my mouse? There it is.